Herkese selamlar sevgili dostlar. Ben Ederim Kırcan. Oyunumuzun yeni bölümüyle karşınızdayız. Efendim şimdi Zenith'in deposunu bastık. Oradan Eloy'un kopyasını, daha doğrusu Elizabeth'in klonunu bulduk. Onu tesise getirdik. Ayrıca bu Zenith'i vuran, Zenith adamlarından kadının vuran silahın bir parçası, kristal top gibi bir şey bulduk. Onu da buraya getirdik. Şimdi ikisine de bakacağız. İlk olarak klonumuz ne durumdaymış onu konuşmaya geldik.
I thought it best to wait for you.
I'll talk to her. Hello? It's
Kurban olduğum iyi misin sen? Beta. Beta Eloy.
My name's Aloy. What's wrong?
Ben Elizabeth, sen Elizabeth. Sana başka bir isim verelim.
Simulacrum withdrawal syndrome. I don't understand. Sudden removal of a neurologically integrated data device. The brain, especially the cerebellum, goes into a kind of sensory freefall.
He, çiğni kırdı ya.
Unreal feels
Çipini.
unreal. Distant. Is there anything that can help? Do you have a focus to spare? It's primitive, but I can make it work. Yeah.
Bizde fokus çok. Pena çok bizde. Al. Cebimizde fokus taşıyoruz 20 tane.
Booting up.
Bacım hayatımı kurtardın.
So,
Allah razı olsun senden
Eloy?
diyecek.
I suppose you want information about you and the Zeniths? Yeah. Why are they here? What do they want?
Bence bunu bize casus olarak yolladılar.
Let's start the beginning. I'm guessing they faked the destruction of their ship 1,000 years ago? That seems consistent with their behavior. They wouldn't want to be followed. So far, Zenith established a colony world after all. Yes, for a few hundred years, but it didn't last. Some sort of natural disaster rendered it uninhabitable. Okay, so...
Onu bilmiyordum.
The descendants of Far Zenith escaped a dying planet, and now they want to claim Earth for themselves? Not their descendants. What? Not their descendants. It's them. The same ones who left Earth 1,000 years ago. You didn't know? How can they still be alive? They don't even look... What did they do to themselves? I believe it's a combination of pharmaceutical, cellular treatments, and technological implants. And you? Does that mean that you're... I'm not like them. I was made. On the way to Earth. On the ship.
Bunların bir de gemileri de mi burada?
My training interface. Also that I could serve my function. Access and control of the terraforming system. But why? What do the Zeniths want with it? When I discovered the Zero Dawn system had disseminated into its subcomponents, I thought my purpose was to fix it. But I don't think the Zeniths want that at all. I think they want to wipe Earth clean and start over. So the Zeniths want to exterminate life on Earth. That's what Gaia and I concluded too. But why? Why kill everyone just to take over? When they took me on missions with them, I saw how they butchered the tribal people we encountered. They didn't seem to care about a rejuvenated Earth, so I concluded that they must want a hard reboot of the system. Then they can redesign it to be exactly what they want. Mass extinction for their own comfort?
Ya madem böyle bir teknik güçleri var, o gezegende yapsaymış bunu.
Well, without their Gaia kernel, they'll have a hard time doing that. The Zeniths needed Elizabeth's gene print to access Zero Dawn facilities. So they made you. Trained you. And you went along with it? They told me I was born to interface with the Zero Dawn system. When we reached Earth, I pieced together what must have happened to Gaia and her subordinate functions. That's when I started to realize I wasn't meant to fix Gaia. That they must have made me so I could do what their remote extinction signal failed to do. Reboot Earth for their own benefit.
Tamam.
So we're dealing with the same Far Zenith people who once lived on Earth. What else do you know about them? They were some of the most affluent and powerful people on Earth. They controlled almost every major resource, every industry. Gerard commands them. He's the one who decided to set up a base. The others, Eric, Tilda, Verbena.
İsimlere bak. Erik,
They
Tilda,
resent his
Verbena.
authority over them, but in the end, they always do what he says. Eric, He's the one I fought back in the Hades Proving Lab.
He enjoys hurting people.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned the Zenith set up a base here on Earth. Where is it?
Off the coast, I think. Whenever I had to go on missions, I was transported inside of a Spectre drone. I couldn't see anything outside. But I did overhear the Zeniths talking about it once. They were discussing setting up a perimeter energy shield to repel the local fauna. I'm certain they have other security measures. Spectre patrols, machine lures.
Finalde bayağı sağlam bir kapışma bizi
What's
bekliyor.
inside the base? Launch facilities so they can shuttle back and forth to their ship in orbit.
Gemileri
Construction to
gökyüzünde.
Gather materials and fabricate anything they need.
Are there more Zeniths than the ones you met?
I'm not sure. I suppose there must be more of them in the base or back on the ship. For all I know, there could be more of them out in space, other survivors of the colony.
How did you escape the Zeniths?
Before the Hades Proving Lab, I never thought I'd get away from them. Even if I were to run, I'd never survive on my own in the wilds. But then I saw you. And I thought that maybe you could help me. So when the Zeniths pinpointed Eluthia's location in the biomedical research facility, I saw an opportunity.
Hiç gerçekçi gelmedi bu kaçma muhabbeti bana.
So you know about the extinction signal?
It was speculation, but the only logical conclusion why Gaia suddenly self-destructed after operating efficiently for centuries. Gaia would have only undertaken such a desperate course of action if it had detected a threat to life on Earth that was more dangerous than ceasing function altogether. I should have realized that she would also order the recreation of Elizabeth Sobek to rebuild her.
Ya bence bu kızı buraya casus olarak yollar.
You said the Zenith's colony in the Sirius system was destroyed. What happened?
All I was ever told was that a natural disaster forced them to leave Sirius. I've speculated that it was an extrasolar object or a cataclysmic seismic event. Or
Baş
maybe
edemeyecekleri
an
kadar
abnormal
büyük bir şey.
violent coronal mass ejection from Sirius A.
The Zeniths never told you any details.
They said the only thing that mattered was that they survived. First Earth, 1,000 years ago, and then Sirius.
Guess they survived old age too. You said you saw an opportunity to escape when you went to capture Eluthia. What did you do exactly?
Whenever I was taken out on a mission to recover a subordinate function, only one of the Zeniths would go with me.
The one the rebels killed, outside the facility.
Baina's dead? How did they bypass her shield?
I'm looking into it. But you were talking about your escape?
Well, when it was time to use the Zenith's transmitter to send Eluthia back to base, I also sent the encrypted transmission. Then I distracted Verbena long enough to seal myself in the ectogenic chamber, altering the facility's log so it appeared that there were only 236 containers.
And the Gaia root kernel?
I told them I could capture Eluthia faster if I had it with me, and they believed me.
Well done.
Niye her konuşmasında ayağa kalkıyor?
You said you were born on the way to Earth. In an artificial womb, I'm guessing?
The Zeniths had an ectogenic chamber aboard the ship. An updated version of the one you found me in. They must have used a stored sample of Elizabeth's DNA.
I doubt Elizabeth would have let them take her DNA. Do you know how they got it?
That wasn't part of the archive I was allowed to access.
Var ya Elizabeth de o geminin içine çıkacak. Görürsünüz.
All right, I think that's enough for now. Do you want to come upstairs or...
So how long? You know, your plan. How long before Gaius fabricated a machine army to defeat the Zeniths?
How did you know?
Optimal strategy, so?
Well, I still have to get 2 more subordinate functions before Gaia's powerful enough to absorb Hephaestus.
What? You don't have Hephaestus already?
Gaia's still figuring out how to capture it. It's not confined to a single location. Of course not.
You didn't even know who the Zeniths really are. You were supposed to be further along by now. Coming here was a mistake. They're gonna find me. They're gonna find this place and take me back. This was all for nothing.
They're not going to find us. Gaia's using Minerva to mask our location.
What difference does it make? You're too far behind. We're never going to beat them. Everything, everyone, they're going to die.
Hey. Calm down. You're here now, right?
Aynı eşit olmaları biraz saçma değil mi ya?
Help?
Yani farklı zamanlarda üretilmiş olmaları gerekmiyor mu
I've
kızlar?
survived since. And given your state of progress, expertise you probably lack. Geoengineering, of course. Computer science, physics, biology, chemistry.
Okay. Well, see if you can do something with that. Talk to Gaia. I'll check on you later.
How'd it go?
Her
Peki
injury's
değil.
not that bad, but I think she regrets coming here. Feeling might be mutual.
Ben olsam kızı sürekli gözetim altında tutardım. Bir
I'll come
sinyal
back
minyal
later and
yollamasın
talk
diye.
to her. See if I can learn anything.
Çünkü güvenilir mi değil mi o belli değil yani.
I should get the weapon fragment to Gaia.
Aa 2 level'da atladık. Dur bakalım. Dur bakalım. Dur bakalım. Bunu yapalım mı bakalım. Bunu mu yapsak? Bu ne? Bu ne lan? Bomba sapanı kullanmıyorum ki ben ya. Bu ne? Daha fazla sis bombası taşımak istemiyorum çünkü hiç kullanmıyorum. Binek savunma. Bağlantı falan filan zırt pırt. Bunları da istemiyorum. Ok olaylarını geliştirmekte yarar var. Cephane uzmanı, pasif güçlen. Aynı miktarda kaynaktan daha fazla cephane üret. Boş ver. Ağır silah boş ver. Şunu yapabilsem iyiydi. Bu neymiş? Avcıyı, yayını seçi, 3 tip ok kullanmak. Ok atar. Bu ne? Menzili hasarı %150 arttırıyor. Ok atar, halat atar, kaza, yay. Sayıda atışta daha fazla hasar. Belirli sayıda atışta daha fazla hasar verir. Mızraklı olaylara bakalım. Bu güzelmiş. Bunu alalım. Yakın dövüşte koyduğumuz gibi adamlar yamulsun. Öyle bir şey yapalım. Bunu almışız, bunu almışız. Bunu almış mıyız? Almışız. Şunu alabiliriz. Yaylım atışı mı? 5 ok at. Okların saflarını sıklaştır. Patlayıcı ateş. Tamam. Yarım ay saldırısı. Bu neymiş? Yaklaş kombolarını birleştirmek ve falan filan. Tamam bunlardan gideriz. Yukarı çıkalım bakalım yukarıdan ne çıkacak karşımıza.
The old ones used holograms for everything.
Silahlarımızı geliştirebiliyor muyuz acaba? Nerede silah geliştirme yeri? Neredeydi lan? Şu tarafta.
Holograms are illusions, though. I wonder if
Şunu bulabildik mi acaba şu zımbırtıyı? Saban boynuzu. Bunu bulamamışız. Bir yerde satılsa da alsak. Tuzak üretmiyorum çünkü tuzakları toplayabiliyoruz ve elimizde bolca tuzak var. Bunları çoğunu da kurmuyoruz zaten. Kıyafet geliştirme yapamıyoruz. Şunu geliştirebilmişiz. Bu fullde zaten. Şu çantaları geliştirebilsek keşke ya. Keseleri meseleleri. Şu mor zımbırtların hiçbirini bulamadığımız için bunların hiçbirini geliştiremiyoruz ne yazık ki. Onun için az okumuz var.
Aloy,
Bunlarla biraz
we've
konuşalım.
gathered
Buradaymış
some
kese
supplies in that
çantamız.
chest. Take what you need.
Bir dakika. Malzeme zulasını aldık ama
Holograms. Gaia, I thought you said the data here was lost.
I was able to repurpose the equipment to store the data you have acquired in your travels.
buraya her geldiğinde bu açılıyor. Buradan malzeme alabiliyoruz. Güzel.
Looks like someone's made this space their own.
I see you found Varl and Zoe's room, Aloy. I believe they wanted.
He, burası onların odası mı?
accommodations.
I see.
Ulan tam bir kabile geleneğine göre yerleştirmişler buraya. Her yere mum yakmışlar. Koskoca led aydınlatmalar var. Hala mum yakıyorlar ya. Delireceğim. Köylülüklerinden vazgeçmiyorlar abi.
Old ones used their
Buraya aldık.
voices to send
Nereden
all
çıkacaktık
kinds of
yukarıya?
messages back in the day.
all over the world, too. Anytime they want it. Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that.
Evet sevgili dostlar. Şimdi Gaia ile konuşacağız ama konuşmadan önce Aloy'un yedeğiyle yani neyse işte klonuyla konuşmak bayağı uzun sürdü. Onun için videoyu burada bitiriyorum. Buraya kadar izleyen herkese teşekkür ederim. Bu videoda klonla birlikte Zenitlerin neler yaptığını, buraya neden döndüğünü, nasıl işlerin ilerlediğini falan öğrenmiş olduk. İyi oldu. Gelecek bölümde de Gaia ile konuşacağız. Onun da konuşması bu kadar uzun sürerse bir videoda onun için çekmiş olacağız sanırım. Sonraki bölümde de ikinci ve üçüncü şeyleri, alt programları bulmaya çalışacağız. Yani ana dünyaya, açık dünyaya yeniden çıkıp yolumuza devam edeceğiz. Ama şimdilik burada bu kadar diyorum bu video için. Lütfen like atmayı, abone olmayı unutmayın. Bir sonraki videoda görüşürüz. Kendinize iyi bakın.